Broncos country, just when we thought things couldn't get any better after an improbable win in Buffalo on Monday Night Football, the news keeps coming in, and every time I'm refreshing my phone or checking the interwebs, I'm like, that's more good news, and that's more good news, and that's more good news. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Ben, and I break down all the news in a way that you can just feel confident about the Broncos making a push to the playoffs. So for all the haters and doubters who gave up on us when we were 1-5, I came out and said that coaching makes all the difference and a high tide raises all ships. What coach in the NFL and what coach on a remaining schedule would you rather have than Sean Payton? And the answer is nobody. And he has raised all tides, and a lot of this good news we're going to break down in this video has to do with good news because of Sean Payton. So diving in, first piece of good news is, do you remember how embarrassing our special teams unit has been really since like my entire fandom? Like, I don't remember having a player who was a difference maker, or a player where I was even like confident that they're going to be able to catch the punt and not fumble it. I can just remember Isaiah McKenzie and all these people just couldn't even catch the dang ball. Well, this week, our stud returner and I think our stud future wide receiver, I think he's going to get the ball a lot more. It was Sean Payton's priority of the bye week, was getting Marvin Mims the ball more. But this is great news that Marvin Mims won the Special Teams Player of the Week award because he completely changed this entire field position game against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night. So first great piece of great news is that Mims was awarded with this, and I think success begets success. As a rookie who is probably is going to hit that rookie wall, having something like this, like AFC Player of the Week, Special Teams Award on your mantle, on your trophy wall, I think is going to help him avoid that rookie wall. It's going to give him the success he needs to push through. Next really great piece of good news that has come out this week is just looking at all the haters who said Russell Wilson was cooked, and just looking that going into week 11, your Russell Wilson, number 3, all the threes out there, let's hear from you, is one of the highest ranked quarterbacks in the NFL, and that was awarded this week. So all of the hate on Russell Wilson is behind us, and I hope people start giving him the respect he deserves. Let's put some respect on his name. That was one of the gutsiest performances I've ever seen out of a Broncos quarterback, and we had Peyton Manning and Tim Tebow and John Elway here, and he kept stepping up and getting hit, and he was rushed, and he made it work, and he looked similar to Seattle Russ. I don't think he has the long ball that he had in the past, but this is absolutely great news. Other really great piece of news that is coming in this week is just looking at NFL defensive rankings, and overall, we are still a very low-ranked defense, but that's going to happen when you give up 800 yards and 70 points to the Dolphins. Like, that's what a lot of teams give up in 2 or 3 weeks. And so that is going to totally skew the statistics. But we've changed things since then. We got rid of Frank Clark. We traded Randy Gregory, who tanked San Francisco's culture. We put in McMillian back in. We have just made massive changes. Justin Simmons is healthy. We've come alive on the health standpoint. And so I think other great piece of news here is just looking that over the past few weeks, we are 4th in the NFL in defense. And you can't tell me, watching us shut down Buffalo, watching us shut down Mahomes 2 games in 3 weeks, you can't tell me that this defense is that far off of our Super Bowl defense. Yeah, we don't have a Von Miller, but I would argue that Pat Surtain is better than Aqib Talib was. I would argue that Justin Simmons is in his prime. And so truly, like, isn't Russell Wilson right now what Peyton was that last year? And so why couldn't we win this? And I'm just very, very encouraged to look that we're the 4th ranked defense, and I think that number is just going to climb. We're the 4th ranked defense with playing Mahomes and Josh Allen. So what's that going to be when we get to play Josh Dobbs this week? This is more details there on how great Russ's season has ended up turning into, which is really cool. Next huge great piece of great news is just, you never want to win because you're your team, the teams you're playing are getting injured. But the next piece of great news here is just looking at how the injuries and stuff are playing out for us moving forward. So looking here, we beat the Bills this week. That is fantastic. Now we got the Vikings coming up, and I think Justin Jefferson is hurt and isn't going to be playing that well. And they are not a huge running team, and that would be our biggest defensive weakness is stopping their run. I think Cook, although he was fumbling quite a bit, he was getting lots of yards and was hitting huge holes. And so I like our matchup this week at home. I think that stadium, Invesco Mile High, is going to be more lit than it has been really since our Super Bowl run. Our win against Buffalo on Monday night was our biggest win since Super Bowl 50. And that sounds crazy because my son is 7 years old and wasn't even alive when we did that. But that's really cool news. Now, the next great piece of news, and again, we never want to succeed because of someone else's bad luck, but just is looking at this Browns game. I said 2 or 3 weeks ago that this was actually the game that scared me most on our schedule because we need to beat them because they're one of those AFC North teams who's pushing for the playoffs as well. And having Deshaun get hurt is just crushing news. And I do feel bad for the Cleveland fan base. But having him out for the rest of the season, it just plays perfectly to us. I do not see us losing to 2 backup quarterbacks in a row. And they lost Chubb first game of the season. And again, I said our defensive liability is that running against us. And to have Chubb out and now Deshaun out, I just feel great about that game. The Texans, they've got to come back down to earth. They have a rookie quarterback, and I talked earlier about that rookie wall that they all hit. I just trust Sean Payton playing against a rookie quarterback, and I trust Vance Joseph playing against a rookie quarterback more than anyone. And I think, Russ playing inside in a dome there is a great thing. And then we have Chargers twice. We know what happens, and even in our slumping years, we played very, very well against the Los Angeles Chargers. We actually know those are basically Broncos home games that a lot of people make their plans to go out right around Christmas time so that they can take over that SoFi Stadium. So I like that matchup. Lions scare me as well, but if you're going to lose a couple games coming up here, and we broke down last week that we really have 2 games left on our schedule that we can lose. We beat the Bills, and that was one I was worried about. We have 2 games left that we could lose. And if they're those AFC or if they're those NFC ones, that really doesn't matter. So if we lost to the Vikings on Sunday, not a big deal. If we lose to the Lions in Detroit, again, not a big deal. Patriots, will Bill Belichick even be the coach there? Big rumor, Orlovsky came out today and said that Bill Belichick actually will be the coach next year in San Diego, for the Chargers. I always want to call them San Diego, in Los Angeles Chargers. We'll do a video breaking down that. How terrifying would it be to have a new coach in Vegas for the Raiders and a new coach in San Diego in Los Angeles for the Chargers? Imagine Harbaugh coaching the Vegas Raiders and Bill Belichick coaching the Los Angeles Chargers. That would be kind of terrifying for the next couple of years. But alas, we're going to beat the Patriots on Christmas Eve for sure. Then we have ending the year with AFC West. I think the Raiders are going to be out of it by then and are going to want to tank for a higher draft pick. They have got to get rid of Garoppolo and replace him. And so are they even going to start their starters in that game? And Chargers, end of the year Chargers, if we're both making a playoff push, that could be tough. But I feel really great about it, Broncos. I want you around for this whole ride. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up, so make sure you like and subscribe, and let's ride.